Hi, my name is Alif Daniel bin Ahmad Faizal, and I will present about my final year project presentation. That is about I propose agro-tourism park revitalization at Laman Padi, Maib Sedang. My project site is Laman Padi located at Maib Sedang, Selangor. Laman Padi is an agricultural landscape that celebrates Malay agrarian heritage through paddy fields, traditional elements, and farming practice. The site was developed as part of Maib to showcase rice cultivation and rural lifestyle within an educational and tourism settings covering approximately 18.02 acres. Laman Padi function as public spaces for cultural learning, community activities, and heritage tourism. Overall, this site provides a unique opportunity to experience agriculture and landscape within an active, meaningful environment. This is my inventory and analysis board. Okay, so for the cultural attributes, Naman Warisan Padi is designed as a living cultural landscape that represent Malay agrarian heritage. The paddy fields here are not just for display, but they are actually reflect traditional farming practice and rural lifestyle. Over time, the site has evolved from an agriculture research area into an agro-tourism destination, which adds to its cultural value. It also functions as space for cultural education, where visitors can learn about rice cultivation and local traditions. Overall, this helps strengthen the identity of Laman Warisan Padi as the place that connects heritage community and everyday life. Secondly, I will go with physical attributes. Moving on the spatial and functional attributes, the site layout is organized to make movement clear and easy for users. Pedestrian pathway connects important areas such as the paddy fields, viewing platform, and resting space. This creates a good spatial connectivity and encourage visitors to explore the site comfortably. Based on the user activity data, based on my user activity data, the site is more active during midday and on weekends. So the layout supports both learning and leisure activities. Although some activities need improvement, the overall spa- the overall spatial the overall spatial structures works well in guiding user through the landscape. And lastly, for biological attributes, the paddy field system plays an important role in managing water and supporting the site's ecosystem. The area experience mostly high temperature, humidity, and heavy rainfall, which influence how the landscape needs to functions. Existing exist, Existing vegetation and wildlife, such as birds and frogs, show that the site is still ecological active. However, the noise from the nearby highway affects user comfort. So, planting buffers are needed to reduce this impact. Overall, the landscape promotes environmental awareness while creating a more comfortable and sustainable environment for visitors. For this one, I will explain the precedent study that were analysed to support the design approach for Laman Warisan Padi. This precedent study was selected because they share similarities in terms of agro-tourism, cultural landscape, and rice-based heritage. The study include both local and international example to understand different design approach, strength, and limitation. Overall, the precedent study helped guide how culture, ecology, and education can be integrated into an agriculture landscape. For the first local precedent is Kampung Agong in Penaga, Penang. It's an agro-tourism park developed on former paddy fields and coconut grove. The main aim of Kampung Agong is to preserve and promote traditional Malay kampung heritage through ecotourism activities. The design retains kampung style, such as wooden house, traditional rural, uh, traditional rural layout and existing agriculture landscape to maintain authenticity. Visitors are able to experience rural lifestyle activities such as walking through, walking through paddy fields, photography, and cultural events. This project shows how agricultural land can be successfully transformed into a tourism destination while still supporting local culture and economy. Another local precedent is Museum Padi in Alostar, Kedah, which is located within Malaysia's main rice producing region. The museum integrates architecture and landscape to showcase Malaysia's rice heritage and Kedah identity as the rice bowl of Malaysia. Outdoor outdoor paddy plots, reflections, pond, and interactive spaces are used to support learning beyond the indoor museum galleries. The design focuses on the design focuses more on formal education and cultural exhibition compared to Kampung Agung's recreational approach. This precedent highlights how cultural identity can be expressed through a combination of landscape architecture and education. The previous slide is the local precedent study. This one I will go with international precedent study. For the first precedent study, is the Rice Museum in Matsudo, Japan. Matsudo, Japan focus on educating the public about the cultural importance of rice. The, of rice. The design combines indoor exhibition spaces with outdoor paddy field to provide hands-on learning experience. Interpretive trays, observation decks, and seasonal program allow visitors to understand farming processes and sustainability. This project demonstrates a strong interpretive design approach that connect people directly with agriculture ecosystem. And it also shows how education and landscape can work together to communicate cultural and environmental. For the next one is second international president study, IRRY, IRRI, Rice World Museum at Philippines. The Erie Rice World Museum in Los Banos, Philippines, is located within a research campus and focuses on science-based education. It integrates rice research, sustainable farming practice, and public learning within an active agriculture landscape. Walkway and research plots are carefully designed to connect visitors with ongoing scientific activities. Unlike the local precedents, this project emphasizes innovation, sustainability, and global food security. It represents how agriculture landscape can function as both research and education platform values. Mm, Based on the comparison, local precedent study such as Kampung Agung and Museum Padi focus more on cultural continuity, heritage, and rural experience. In contrast, international precedents emphasize education, research, and sustainable agriculture practice. Especially, local projects rely on ex- experiential and symbolic design, while international example adopt interpretive and functional frameworks. These findings influence the design of Lama Warisapadi by combining cultural identity with ecological education, ecology, ecological education. Overall, the precedent studies provide valuable guidance in shaping a landscape that is meaningful. This is my site synthesis part. For this section, I will explain the main issues, site potential, and site constraint that I identify from the site synthesis of Laman Padi Maya Sodang. Firstly, In terms of socio-cultural aspects, the main issues is limited outdoor cultural engagement and community participation. However, the site has strong potential due to its Malay agrarian heritage and existing cultural identity. The main constraint is the lack of consistent programming, which may reduce long-term cultural value. Secondly, for the uh, for the biological aspect, the main issue is low biodiversity caused by monocultural paddy planting. However, the existing paddy fields presence of local fauna provide strong ecological potential. Furthermore, continuous continuous farming activities and limited vegetation layers act as constraints to habitat diversity. And lastly, for the physical for the physical aspect, the main issues is was water stagnation, water stagnation and flooding after heavy rainfall. However, the flat terrain and existing irrigation channel offer good potential for effective water management. The main constraint is poor management and soil compaction, which affect site stability and accessibility. Overall, this site synthesis highlight the need to respond to these issues by strengthening cultural engagement, enhancing biodiversity, and improving the water management through design strategies. This is my conceptual development board. Firstly, I will start with the aim of the projects. The aim is to develop Lawan Padi Mayap Sedang into a sustainable agricultural landscape. This means the site is designed not only for recreation, but also to enhance cultural engagement, strengthen ecological diversity, and improve the overall physical performance of the site. At the same time, the design support MP Sepang's vision of a clean, green, and sustainable township. And for the objective, to achieve this aim, several objectives were identified. Firstly, the project aims to strengthen socio-cultural engagement by activating outdoor cultural spaces and reconnecting visitors with Malay agrarian heritage. Secondly, it aims to enhance biological diversity by restoring native vegetation and recreating wildlife habitats that supports birds, frogs, and pollinators. Thirdly, the design focuses on improving physical and hydrological performance through water sensitive design solution that reduce drainage problems. Lastly, circulation, accessibility, and user comforts are improved through shaded walkways, seating areas, and clear wayfinding. For the design strategies, based on these objectives, several design strategies were developed. The first strategies is rice symbolism, where patterns, form, and layout are inspired by paddy fields to reflect the cultural importance of rice. Secondly, the second strategy focus on water flow and landscape where water elements function as irrigation, stormwater management, and education features. The use of natural materials such as timber is another strategy to strengthen the rural and cultural character of the site. Finally, communal and interactive spaces are introduced to encourage social interaction, learning, and community activities. Uh, for, this, for the design principles, these strategies are guided by several design principles. The first principles is heritage and identity, where the design celebrates Malay agriculture heritage through symbols, materials, and spatial form. The second principle is harmony and balance, which is integrate culture, nature, and users' experience in cohesive layout. Another principle focus on functionality and user experience, ensuring the spaces are accessible, safe, and comfortable for all users. Lastly, sustainability and ecology guide the design through the use of native plants, nature materials, and water and energy efficient system. For the plant strategies, the design uses pathway and edge planting to guide movement naturally and reflect the organic form of paddy fields. Native trees and shade plants are selected to improve thermal comfort and create a cooler microclimate for visitors. And also dairy planting, including ground covers, shrub, and taller vegetation, is used to enhance biodiversity and visual depth. Where possible, low maintenance native species are prioritized to support long term sustainability and reduce maintenance requirements. This is my team board, and my team are a living landscape of blessing. A living landscape of blessing celebrates the harmonious relationship between culture, nature, and ecology within the site. The term living reflects a dynamic and a thriving heritage that continues to evolve through daily human activities and ecological processes. Landscape represents the shaping role of landform and waterways in structuring space movement and environmental functions. Meanwhile, blessings signifies the multiple benefits derived from a rich and healthy habitat, providing ecological value, cultural meaning, and improve quality of life for both people and wildlife. And for my concept is tiga tangkai bunga padi. Tiga tangkai bunga padi come from my team, that is living landscape and blessing. Okay, what is tiga tangkai bunga padi? The three stalks of rice flowers embody a living journey that symbolize the continuity of life and landscape, beginning with the richness of cultural heritage and traditional values. This journey progresses through the cultivation of harmony and well-being, reflecting the balanced relationship between people, land, and everyday practices. Ultimately, it moved towards the flourishing of future growth, representing resilience, renewal, and sustainable development. Intertwined within this progression is a graceful balance that celebrates life, community, and nature, where cultural identity and ecological process coexist and reinforce one another. These are my master plan board. The master plan for Laman Warisan Padi is designed as a cultural and educational landscape that celebrates local agriculture heritage while supporting community interaction and environmental sustainability. The layout integrates pedestrian pathways, open space, and paddy planting to create clear spatial connectivity and an immersive learning experience within the agricultural landscape. The design enhance spatial legibility and accessibility and environmental comfort while strengthening the identity of Laman Warisan Padi as an activity public space that promotes heritage appreciation, and eco education, and community engagement within a cohesive landscape framework. These are my enlargement board. The enlargement plan focuses on a key waterfront area designed to enhance user experience through clear spatial organization and greenery. The layout of my site prioritize walkability and visual connectivity with terrace seating, creating hierarchy and comfortable social spaces. A continuous planting corridor along the waterfront guides the pedestrian movement and enhances the visual interest through contrast between planting, paving, and water.